Hey, this is Walt with Raybuck Auto Body Parts. Today I'm out taking my car for a ride and I thought I'd make a quick video for you. We've been getting a lot of calls from everyone working on their stuff, especially during the quarantine, so time to get the cars out and have some fun with them. This is my 71 Camaro. This car I have owned since high school, and over the years it's gone through a couple different restorations. This one right now has been about 15 years since this car was done the way you see it. Originally the car was a yellow car with a black vinyl top, a 307 automatic car. I had this in high school, drove it in high school. Before I graduated, we decided to do a restoration on it, so me and my dad took the car apart, did a nice, not a full-on restoration, but something nice that we could take to the shows. Did it kind of very similar to the way it is now. It was white with the black stripes, but more stock looking with the rally wheels, stock interior, you know, stock suspension, all that type of thing. As I graduated high school, I decided, or not high school, but college, I decided to get a little more involved with the car and took it all apart, and it took me about 7 years to build the car to what it is now. I wanted it to race the car and, you know, do a lot more with it. So took the car apart down to the bare bones, stripped the whole thing down, put a cage in it, you know, did all the suspension work. It now has the stock suspension was removed in the rear. It has a frame all the way back with a 4-link rear suspension, full cage, 10-point cage in it. It's got a 9-inch forward end in it with a 320 gear. Obviously much wider tires than what was originally on it. These ones, I don't remember. It's about a 29-inch tall tire, somewhere in the range of about 13 inches wide on the back right now. I do race the car, and I used to race the car for quite a few years there. I was going to the track on a regular basis. I would run about a 10.5-inch slick on it, and the car would go mid-8s, about 160 miles an hour. The car has a twin turbo small block in it. I've never really had a dynoed, but to get the car to run what it runs, it's probably making somewhere in the neighborhood of about 1,000 horsepower. The car weighs about 35-50 with me in it, so if you do the math, it takes that much power to go that fast. I'll show you a little bit of the interior on it. As I said, we did the full cage on it, so you can see, not great, but in the back there. So it's got a 10-point cage that goes all the way into the front. It's tied into the front subframe and tied into the rear. The frame runs all the way through the floor. Usual race street stuff in the car. It's got the race seats in it, which aren't terribly uncomfortable. Sometimes it'd be nice to have something a little cushier, but for the most part they're fairly comfortable and get the job done. As I said, I don't drive this too far, a couple hours here and there, but for the most part the interior's pretty bare bones. The motor, that's a different story. This motor has been a lot of fun. A lot of people have a lot of questions about the motor in it, and originally when I built the car, I wanted something obviously pretty fast. Back then I was really into the fastest street car scene, stock looking cars with like a lot of horsepower. Turbochargers were just starting to come into, you know, mainstream back then, so I was really really interested in the turbocharged stuff. It's it's not as complex as it looks. It looks like a lot of crap in there, but once you get it kind of in there and get it figured out, it's no worse than anything else. But took a while to get everything figured out and get the car running really well, but it's well worth it in the end. This car, you can put pump gas in it and drive it all day long, or you can put race gas in it and go to the track and have a lot of fun with it. So, but I wanted to show you guys this. I am going to be switching some things up on the car. As I said, I haven't been racing it as much, so I've decided that I'm going to take the automatic out of the car and put a 6-speed in it. Originally, when I built this car, it had a 5-speed in it. That was not a very strong 5-speed, so I broke it in short order. After that, the car was switched over to a Lenco planetary style transmission, which was a great transmission. Had a lot of fun with it, but running a clutch car and trying to keep up with that at the track and drive it became a lot of work. So at that point, I took the Lenco out of the car and put the 400 automatic in it. And the 400's been great for racing, super reliable. Carl Rossler does the transmission on it. I can't say enough about that transmission. It's been a great transmission. But now that I just want to drive it more and get it out on the highway, I'd like to start going to some other shows that are a little farther away. And even though the car has a 320 gear in it, the converter still slips a little bit. So trying to go down the highway at 65, 70 miles an hour, you're at $3,000 plus. So I'm looking for something to allow me to drive it a little bit better. And what I'm going to be putting in it is a Tremec Magnum F. Pretty much have all the parts together, and we'll be putting that in probably within, I would say, the next month maybe, starting the build on that. There is a few things that have to be changed on the car in order to do that, and I will be documenting that in upcoming videos, so keep an eye on our YouTube channel for that. If you guys have any questions about the car, please let us know. Send us a message, questions, whatever. Make sure you check out our YouTube channel and subscribe. Hit that little bell there. That way you can get notifications for new videos. As I said, I will be making new videos once we do start getting into the 6-speed swap. So it's hopefully can provide some information for people that are looking to do the same thing. But that's about it. Thanks, guys. Stay safe.